Hello, friends. It has been quite a while. I have no excuses, except that life has been busy, I guess. Bought some new paintbrushes, so we're going to replace our old ones right now. I don't think I'm going to get rid of all of my paintbrushes. For example, I don't have something like this in my collection. All of these are going to go bye-bye. I have many thoughts, many ideas, but I think that the prevailing thing today that I really want to celebrate is self-worth and self-value. I had a week where I had to deal with evil, wicked people. And in case people think that's a strong word or strong words, just know that wickedness and evil is not limited to murder, rape. There's so many ways people can just be downright evil. And so I experienced some of that. And so today is a celebration, not a reminder of who I am, because I know who I am, but a celebration of it. Because at the core of evil is to temper down what is good. And we're not going to allow that because we know who we are. Today, we are burning Cactus Blossom from Bath & Body Works. The plug-in is so mild, but I found that the throw for the candle is like perfumey. It was wild. I couldn't believe how much scent it gave off. And then I finished Springtime in Paris. The wick burned out. It smells so good. I actually think I prefer this over Cactus Blossom, but in Cactus Blossom, I prefer the wall plug-in. Gonna do some ultramarine. I went to Joann's Fabrics, which is where I normally buy all my paints, and the store was in the middle of closing, and apparently they're shutting down the entire thing. I was so shocked. It made me so sad to just see how many businesses are closing their doors. It's just, and I believe it's gonna get much worse. If you guys watch my channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm a person of faith. I really do believe that we're just gonna see more and more bad things happening. And this is not because I'm trying to be a Debbie Downer. It's just, if you read the Bible, you'll know what it says. But while I was there, I actually went there because I was looking for gesso. They didn't have any gesso. They had been cleaned out, but I saw these two left. And I Googled it while I was in the store, and apparently it works like gesso. So I was happy to be able to pick two up at a discount. I read something on LinkedIn the other day. A lady had lost her dad, her brother, and her marriage of 15 years, all in 1 year. And she mentioned how sometimes you're just not prepared for soul-crushing grief, is what she called it. And so she stepped away from her job as a chief financial officer to heal and take care of herself. And now she's back and she's excited about the future and she's hopeful. And I just remember reading that line, soul-crushing grief, and I just knew exactly what she meant. I know I've shared this before a little bit here and there, but overcoming grief was definitely something that God had to do for me. I couldn't function. I literally couldn't function. He taught me to just take the time I need to handle certain things when they pop up. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get right back up, and that's okay too. And so it was a season of just learning that it's okay to not be okay. And that I needed that, because for so many years I'd operated, just always had this mindset of you just keep going, you just keep going, you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you just keep moving forward. But there are times when you literally cannot. It doesn't matter how hard you try, you cannot do it. The experiences of the past few years has taught me how much of my fate was real and how much of it was just words. Sometimes you don't know you're not where you think you are until you get into a crisis. And it's healthy. Having the right self-assessment is so important. Another thing I want to start exploring is not using music. I used to be so stressed out trying to find the right music. And I think that if you're a vlogger who leans towards the cinematic, music will absolutely play a part. But I'm not that. I've been really chatty today. I think that's my being chatty is intentional. As I hinted at earlier, I went through a really long grieving period, and what that grief did was steal my voice. And I feel like me talking more and expressing more and making sure that I have the language and that I have the right people that I can express to has been very instrumental in me getting my voice back. So yeah. So if you hate the chattiness, I'm sorry. All right, friends. I think I'm done here. Every season adds a new stroke of color to the ongoing story of you. I got this idea from Pinterest, but the words here are mine. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.